listening to KCYP 97.7 The City. This is Scarlet Rose, and you're now listening to RGV Rocks. This is KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. This is Scarlet Rose along with my co-host
Rock and Rudy.
And welcome to RGV Rocks KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and is the home of indie music. We are now accepting donations through our website www.thecity977.com, and as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. I will also be leaving the donation links in the description below if you guys want to donate to the city, or if you want to donate to our Patreon, which we'll be plugging in later on in the show. Feel free to do that. But for the people that don't know who we are, what we do, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to local talent, events, and other wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. Today, Rudy, we have a very special guest. Would you like to introduce him on our show?
But of course, I would, like always, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know the man behind the voice, you will now. Longtime friend of mine, been around for decades, let me tell you. And he is on the Valley's Most Wanted, the Mojo Morning Show with Johnny O, Bonnie Hernandez, and Tejano Bob. And they are doing rocking it real awesome. They're really taking names, and you know what goes with that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do this. The one and only Mr. Frankie G. What's up, Frankie?
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the love.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Sorry it took so long, but hey, we're here. We finally made it.
No worries. We're here to join you. I'm excited to be on y'all's show. First off, congratulations on the show. It is amazing to be part of a great show.
I thank you very much for that. Frankie, let's get started here right away. Let me ask you something. How long have you been in the business? And I know you've been in the business for a while now.
Man, when you said decades, bro, you're making me feel my age, dog. That's sweet Jesus. First off, happy belated Scarlet Rose. Happy belated birthday.
Thank
I know
you.
You just turned the big 21.
Oh my God. Don't remind me, I'm getting older.
You know what? I was about 18 years old when I started in the business. Thanks to my mentor, Johnny O. Johnny and I have been in the business most of my career. You know, he's gone to different cities, and every time he comes back, you know, we've built certain businesses along the way. And thank God, this is one of the businesses. You know, we started off Valley's Most Wanted. Valley's Most Wanted was just a website at one time, and that was back in the day. It was just Johnny O Radio, you know. This was back in, golly, the 2000s, because I started radio in 1999, somewhere around there. Started in a Tejano station.
Right, the KIWW, or no, the Que Pasa, which one was
it? We were at Que Pasa. My first night in radio was in Que Pasa 99.5 over there in Weslaco, and it was a Christmas night. That was my Christmas gift.
Oh,
I remember that. I was working that night. I was there on Q94.5 when you were doing that. I remember that.
Yes,
I remember that very clearly.
That was amazing. How time flies.
That's why I'm saying decades. Everybody knows our age already. Yeah, man.
You're making me feel like an old man, boy.
Oh my God.
You know, by the way, congratulations on the new family member making its way in January. There's gonna be a beautiful little girl, and we are just excited for you for that. Congratulations to you and Amanda. Y'all are just let me tell you. I am gonna spoil her because I have two daughters myself, and I spoil them just like my grandson. Let me tell you.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait for y'all to meet her. She is an amazing little human that's so loved, and we're excited for her homecoming. We're gonna have the 1-year party with the keg and the banda and the fireworks and the circus. And then at 5 years old, we're gonna have the big quinceañera, and we're gonna go on.
Let's just make up words as we go.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you can hear in the mornings. What time does the Mojo Morning Show start? At 6?
Mojo Morning Show starts at 5 a.m. We jump in at 5 a.m. and we go all the way to 11 a.m. Yes, and you'll catch the best of them. We got some great prank calls. We try and call all of our buddies and our listeners and just give them a good morning wake up with a little prank, let them know that we're thinking about them. And of course, we got all that fresh news you could use, all the updates on the pandemics and the weather, the traffic, all the good stuff happening right there in the valley. So you'll catch us all morning long. It's pretty awesome, man. I'm not saying because I'm there, but the talent that is there, you got Johnny, you got Bonnie, Bob, myself, is another level of show.
And they're all great radio jocks too. Johnny O, the legend himself también, he's just a tremendously an awesome and very talented person. Bonnie también the same way. And then pues Tejano Bob, what can I say? That vato is just amazing. One hell of a good salesman too, let me tell you.
What's funny to me, Rudy and Scarlett, is that all of us did radio 20 years ago. And the full circle happened, everybody got let go from the radio stations. And then Johnny and I had this project. We've been working on this project for years. This all started off in the backyard after a few cold ones and some long discussions, and all of a sudden, John and I are thinking, what are we going to do at the moment that radio starts cutting heads? Bro, we got to have our own. Sure enough, we got to work, and we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, to be exact. Because we launched the app and the Mojo Morning Show on Halloween Day last year. So what are we, like 15 days away from our 1-year anniversary? So we're very excited. We're very, very blessed. And thanks to you all, you all spreading the word and letting people know that they have an option. And it's not just a radio station. It's an app. You go and you download Valley's Most Wanted at your local app store. So either Google Play or Apple. And you can even hear it on your smart speakers. Alexa, if you have Alexa, stop Alexa before she starts freaking out.
Oh my gosh.
Or you can do it on Google Play. You can even, if you're in touch with your Siri will even play Valley's Most Wanted. It's amazing. Siri, stop. Yeah, it's awesome.
I have you guys like that, yeah. And every time I say if Valley's Most Wanted, and she'll play it, but you got to say that hey part first. You know what I mean?
Yes, you gotta give her the heads up.
Yeah. Well, we actually, I mean, I am just so stoked about you guys doing this show and everything like that. And I've listened to y'all's morning show, and when I did you all show, you tried to pull a good prank on me too.
I know, I listened in. You got Rudy pretty good.
But hey, me and Scarlett Rose both came out of y'all show different times, but we still did it, and I'm thankful for that, because we also plugged in RDO 97.7 FM the city, the RGV Rocks segment. Before we go any further, Miss Scarlett Rose, you want to go ahead and kick off the show?
All right. So now that you mentioned you're from Alton, Texas.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But what's it called? Speaking about the Valley, we usually have this introductory question that we usually ask our guests, especially the people that are like first new to the show, and that is, what do you like about the RGV and why?
What do I like? Tacos. That's my favorite. Tacos. The Valley is so big. When you say the Valley, you got to understand that the Valley runs from Roma all the way to South Padre Island. So along the way, you have so many border towns and so many different styles of tacos. You go to Roma, that's one style of tacos. You come to Reynosa, you have the Reynosa mini tacos. You go to Brownsville, you got the tacos that are from Matamoros, which comes with like cheese and avocado. So what is the favorite part of mine of the Valley? Tacos. Love them.
It's always the tacos. It's always like the thing that comes us back to the Valley. Oh my gosh. Because like I think you're actually the first person that clarified the food, because a lot of people talk about like Valley food, but they never specified like the taco part. And the fact that you got like the area of like the specific type of tacos within the Valley, because nobody really talks about that. And you're from Alton, correct? You're near Mission. Have you ever tried the 5 Mile Line tacos from there?
Girl, I'm from San Antonio now. I moved away a few years ago. My wife and I have a place over here, and when we go back to our little ranch, we have a little ranch in Alton, and the first thing we do, stop for tacos. In Edinburgh, you got La Herradura. Oh my God. If y'all
Ooh.
haven't had those tacos,
Hmm.
those are tacos. Now, then we work our way into the valley, back into Alton. As soon as we get into Alton, well, in Alton, we have so many different kinds of tacos because there's a whole strip of tacos. If you go on Trenton over there towards La Homa, I mean, you got Mary's, you got Don Felipe's, you got all of these little taco shacks, and they're all different styles of
Hmm.
tacos. So catch me at all the different taco shops when I'm in the valley.
Well, it's good. It's good to know that you know where all the tacos are. You know, for
Hmm.
real. Let me tell you.
La Conecta.
Shout out to Don Felipe's because like that's my taco place right there. Don Felipe's is really
Oh,
good.
the papa with carne or the
Yeah.
cocktail, the shrimp cocktail. Oh, I can't
My
wait to get to the valley.
mine was back in the day El Patos. You know,
Oh,
the
Oh my
original El
god.
Patos.
bro, Miss G did a hell of a job. If you ever gone to Patos and you had yourself a beef, bean, and avocado, oh, sweet Jesus. That's a killer. That's another style of taco from the valley, bro.
There you go. Bean cheese and avocado. Yeah, I like the bean
Hmm.
cheese and bean cheese and bacon mixed in there too. But ooh, let me tell you,
Yo, Rudy, the cute taco, the one
the
that you.
cute taco. Yeah, I invented that. Remember that?
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
that's a good taco right there.
It is. It is. It is. It's too bad I never got no royalties off of that stuff.
Actually, since you mentioned that you were under the wing of Johnny O, you want to talk about that experience and how you got along with like Johnny O and like how the fact that he took you under his wing.
You know, it's funny that you asked that because I was working for Super Splash Adventure. That's probably way before your time.
That's
But the
in
city
Far
of
Texas.
Edinburgh, the city of Edinburgh had a water park.
I
That's
remember
in Far.
And
that. They tore it down actually.
okay, well, now they moved that over to like Las Milpas area, right there where Rudy's talking about in Far.
In
But
Far, yeah.
Super Splash Adventure, I was a lifeguard manager there. And it was about my third year there. You know, I was there from the beginning to the end. And all of a sudden, the radio stations were coming in to promote. And it just so happened that I got to meet Johnny O. And I was already a big listener of his. I had listened to him for years and years and years. And it just so happened that he walked into the park and I was like, hey, man, you know, is there opportunity for me to go over there? And he's like, yeah, bro, come on in. So I started off as the van driver. I was the van driver. I would go put up all the stickers and I would go put up all the banners. We'd have concerts and I'd hand out tickets and receive the tickets. You know, that was the golden ticket. And after that, I was in the business. It had been years. I want to say it was about 3 years. And then Christmas night, it just so happened. Christmas night, 1999. We were about to go into the Y2K where the whole world was going to shut down. It was going to
Yeah.
be the end of the world. And I was like, well, Christmas night, why not get on the air? So I walk into the studio. I had no clue what was going on. Back then, you had to play CDs, you had to play cards, you had to follow the paperwork, and it told you what song was going to play, what commercial. And if you weren't ready, radio was going to go off the air. So it just so happened, Johnny was like, hey, man, I need you to go in. Tonight's the night you start. And I was like, bro, I don't even know what I'm doing. He's like, don't worry about it. Just pick your favorite songs and play them. And then throughout the night, he started teaching me. But once Johnny taught me, you know, he's a monster. The man is a legend. He's great at what he does. He does amazing research. If you've paid attention to any radio station he's been at, the research he does, the way he programs the station, the man is a monster at whatever he does. And I thank God I've been under his wing for the last 20 some years. And here we are 20 years later, and we now have our own platform. And when I say platform, it's something that you can either get on the www.valleysmostwanted.com. In case you don't have it downloaded to your phone, you can go to the browser, or you could just go to your app store and download the app and check us out. Now, on the app, we also have our own podcast section. We have the best of. You can request your song. You can send a shout out. Now, before we used to have phone lines. Well, now we got phone lines. Now we got the app. Now we got all kinds of social medias. I mean, it's all there and it's all at your fingertips. Where before you'd call the radio station and you'd get a busy tone because everybody was trying to call. There's no such thing as a busy tone anymore. Now it is, you can't get in through the phone line, don't worry about it. Go get on the app, send your request, and immediately get it in. Or you can't, you don't have the app, don't worry about it. Send us a message through any of your social medias. So now with social media and all the platforms available, you can reach us immediately. And as soon as you send a message, that's how fast we reach you back. Where before you couldn't get through the phone line, or you'd call and call and call, and you just get a busy tone, busy tone. No, now somebody's gonna get back at you, and immediately. It's amazing. And Johnny has pulled it off by being able to put us on a platform where we can show our talent and entertain our listeners, because we have a wide variety of listeners. You know, our listeners start with the youngins, 8, 9, 10 years old. They go all the way to the grandmas, 80, 70, 90 years old. I love it because I get to see all of our wonderful listeners. And you think, man, well, the listeners is only going to be 18 to 25. No, that's no longer a thing. They're from the chillins all the way to the grandparents. It's amazing. Technology has gotten so far so fast.
It is. I mean, and you're absolutely right. You hit it on the nail. There is no more reasons for there not to be any way to get through, because I remember back in the day when I finally would answer the phone, people would say, "It's about time. I've been trying forever," But yeah, I mean that's already dead and gone. And at the radio station, there is no call waiting. There's just, you're just going to be on hold, and that's all there is to it. You get that busy signal, hang up, and call back. But
that's
yeah, that is great to hear. And of course, you and Johnny O have been together, like you said, since 1999. I do remember you when you were a van driver for the promotions and stuff like that. I do remember you doing stuff like that, especially also I was doing the Rescue 945, driving up and down the highways and byways and doing all stuff, tearing all that up. And then, of course, I was already on the radio when you came on and stuff. The late great, of course, Keith West. He was a great person. I remember you driving around a couple of times.
Yes,
yeah. So
rest his
it's
soul,
nothing but
an amazing human being.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was great. He was going to be greatly missed, of course, like always. But you know what? I am just so glad and blessed that you and I met, and that you and I got together since way back when and everything, and then we've been friends ever since then, and it's been more than 20 years, like you said. So, wait a minute, did I just say that out loud? That's how old we are. Come on,
I have no clue what you're talking about, Rocky Rudy. Keep it down there, partner.
Oh,
You're showing our age.
for all we know, you could be 20. You could be 20.
Yeah, there you go. When they ask me, "Hey, how old are you?" I usually tell them I'm 28. I've been 28 for a few years now, and I'm not budging. All right, I'm gonna hold it there for another few years.
Oh.
Well, and they asked me how old I am. I just took the 25. I'm 25. That's all there is to it.
So going into like the Mojo Morning Show, how did you get into that specific show, or what was the idea behind it?
That's funny that you asked. The Mojo Morning Show started whenever I moved into the Mojo Morning Show. That was at KBFM. That was still B104. All right. Well, before the B, I worked for 96.1 in The Beat, which was the other hip hop station in town. Before that hip hop station, there was another station on South Padre Island called Hot 101, blazing hip hop and R&B. That was the first hip hop station the Valley had ever had, and you could only hear it from like Edinburgh towards the island. If you were past in the Mission area, the Alton area, the Palmview area, you needed to have a papa on the antenna for it to work. So it was a very weak signal. It was only, I want to say it was only like 50,000 watts. Well, I was working for that hip hop station, and then I got a phone call from Bobby Macias, one of our good buddies. Yeah, Bobby Macias, he hit us up. He hit me up, and he's like, "Hey, man, we're getting ready to start a hip hop station over here at 96.1, and want to know if you want to join the morning show." And I was like, why not? I was young, I was hungry, and I went over there. So I ended up doing the morning show there with Alex Q, which is one of my PDs, an amazing human being. He's now in New York. With Kathy, her name was Nikki. Nikki is now in San Antonio somewhere. And myself, we did the show at 96.1 The Beat for a few years. Well, it just so happened that right when 96.1 The Beat was doing great in ratings. I mean, Radio Wars was huge in South Texas. And we were doing so good at 96.1 The Beat. And then all of a sudden, I got that phone call from Johnny. Johnny was moving back from Corpus. We had worked at the Tejano station before. I was at the hip hop station, Hot 101. I was working at the Tejano station, at the rock station, at KVOY. And Johnny calls me and says, "Hey, man, we're about to start a new show and want to know if you're interested in jumping the boat." Well, I had already jumped the boat from Hot 101 to 96.1. So I was like, I mean, I had gained so many listeners and so many. Back then, there was no followers. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have MySpace. MySpace was barely starting back then. We didn't have much social media. Everything was word of mouth. You had to be out on the streets, meeting people, shaking hands, kissing, hugging babies. You know, you just had to meet mamas and papas and just make friends with a lot of people and promote your radio station. When Johnny told me, "Hey, man, you gonna come over here or what?" And I was like so nervous. And I was like, you know what? That's my boy. He's calling me for a reason. So as soon as we got together a few nights before I made the jump, he's like, "So what's a good name?" The only thing I could think was we were a bunch of mojos because we were a bunch of Mexicans, which was Foxy Roxy, Johnny O, and myself. And we were coming from a Tejano station. So I said, you know what? The Mojos. And it was just so perfect. It was time period correct at that time. It was the Austin Powers Mojo was around. You know, we were the Mojos. It just all worked so perfect. As soon as we launched the Mojo Morning Show, it was a phenomenon. I mean, the listeners were, of course, we had all the B104s that were really, really mad that, "Why are you changing our station? We don't like that music." But all of our other listeners that came through, they were enjoying it. So sooner or later, we were able to teach everybody, you know what, the new station was in town and we were there to make a difference and entertain everybody. So by the time you knew it, I mean, that station went #1 in 2 books. It was from another world. I mean, we started off our show on KRGV. We had KRGV cameras inside our studio the day it launched. I have the video somewhere. I'll try and get you all the videos so y'all can check it out. It was awesome. We were dressed in army attire. We were a bunch of soldiers and we were out to take ratings. And then sure enough, 2 books later, we were #1. We turned off the beat. The beat was obsolete. It was out.
Oh my
And
gosh.
in fact, the day that the beat went out, we played this song. We got the beat.
Oh
We
my
got the
God.
beat. We played that song for like a day. Oh
The
man,
Go-Go's,
Radio Wars
right?
was-
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my
Radio Wars was
gosh.
amazing. Yeah, so we did real good. The station survived. I mean, the station was there for 20 plus. Johnny was there for 20 plus years. The station is still going, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably going down the river already with the talent that they got there. But I mean, the station is still there. And we did a lot of hard work. We put a lot of bumper stickers. If you ever saw bumper stickers in the back of the cars, I'll tell you what, I put about 75% of all those stickers on there. You know, it got to the point where the stickers would get ugly, and I tell them, "Hey, you cruise by, I'll stick you a sticker." Every morning, I will go out to a different city. We'd give away tacos, we'd give away donuts, and we'd slap bumper stickers on your rear. That was our mission till we stayed #1 for many, many years. And then here we are now, you know, 20 some years later, and we're running our own show. It's exciting, man, to be able to tell you all how far we've come and how much work we've put into.
Let me just go ahead and just to let you all know, okay? When he said I put a sticker in your rear, he meant the rear of your car, okay? Just so you can.
Yeah. My gosh.
All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that until you pointed that out already. Dang it.
Yeah, that was
Woo!
amazing.
You know what I mean? Hey, and leave it up to Frankie G. All right, all the time, all the time. Never a dull moment with you, my brother. Never a dull moment. It's always always a great time when you're around. You're always in a great mood. You always got that energy and vibe going on and everything, and that's what I love about you. You're very humble, big-hearted. También. You and your wife Amanda. También. Again, congratulations on the baby girl making her way to the world.
We're
And
honored.
I know
We're
you guys are going to
excited.
be tremendously great parents. I know you are. So I'm here for you guys. You know, I'm Scarlet Rose también. You know, here 97.7 FM, The Rock.
The Rock.
I just don't change it. I'll just say the city,
city.
RGV Rocks. I just cut it, you know. But hey, it's because he brought up a lot of old memories, a lot of great stuff. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
Q94.5
man.
and Que Pasa back in the day, you know, and then 107.9. It was just we were all just. I mean, we were CPs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we got to live. You know, I was talking to another buddy about how great the lifestyle was living. You know, you had front row tickets to every concert. It was amazing. And it's like I told John nowadays, look at how far we've gotten. And now with our own platform, you know, I get to see all of our listeners that are coming in. It's so good to see our wonderful listeners that have followed us for the last 20 years, and we interact with them. And now after the show every morning at 11 o'clock, we get online on Facebook and we go live and interact with our listeners. It's amazing because our listeners are another level. If we could put out some energy, let me tell you, the energy that we get back from our listeners, I love it. Y'all got to check it out. 11 o'clock after the show daily. I mean, the Mojos are on live on video. We're all, if y'all know, I do the show from San Antonio.
Right.
Johnny is in the studio with Bob, and Bonnie is in her own house. So we're all in different areas doing our morning show. So, you know, technology has come so far. I love it how fast technology has grown. And like I told you, it all started off with a website. By the time you knew, we had an app. And to make the app, nobody understands how much work John and I have put into this. This has been days and nights. If you haven't been to the studio, we built a studio behind John's house, and then I built a studio at my house. You know, so we have two different studios where we run everything out of, and this is a full-blown radio studio. You know, you have one at John's house, you got one at my house, and they're running full time all the time. I mean, technology has gone so far where before we all had to go into one spot and everybody hang out in one area, and now technology has beat us all, and we're able to do it from abroad. It is just a blessing of God, and we're enjoying every moment of it, you know, enjoying every moment of it, being able to entertain. And as we get older and more experienced, you get to see what the world has to offer and how much of a blessing we are to be around. To be around people like you guys, to be around people like John, like Bob, like Bonnie, you know, and just strive off of each other's energy.
Let me ask you something. On the platforms, www.thevalleysmostwanted.com, and that gets you all the links, everything you need.
valleysmostwanted.com. Also, go to your app store. It's real simple. Just type in Valleys Most Wanted, either Google Play or your Apple store, and just go type in Valleys Most Wanted, download it. You can't miss the app. It's right there in your face, and we want y'all to join us. Enjoy it. The platform is amazing. We play music unedited, so it's not like your typical FM radio. Over there, you want to hear the songs the way they were supposed to be played? That's where you're going to catch them. Not like FM or terrestrial radio where you can't say the F, the S, or the MF, you know, all of those pretty little words that get you in trouble. Well, on our platform, it's an open mic. Let your heart out. What is your feelings telling you to do? Over there, you get to hear it the way it really is. And that's one of the things that I really, really enjoy about the app, because before we were on terrestrial radio, and you got to bite your tongue, and you can't say certain things. And if you do, you're going to get fined. Well, not over there. Over there, you let your heart out, and whoever's thingy hurts, I'm sorry. We'll make it up later.
Oh, we're going to have to go ahead and start ending the show here. Frankie G, always a pleasure. Do you want to send any shout outs or anything to anybody before we go?
Yes, definitely. Want to shout out to all my Valley's Most Wanted family, para el Johnny, Bonnie, Bob, El Adam West, the Overnight Delight. Of course, my girl Lorena Macarena. You can catch the Mojos in the morning from 5 to 11. And then you'll catch Johnny. He'll be in the mix con DJ Gucci from 11 to 1. And then I come in from 1 to 7. I'll do the afternoon show. DJ Gucci and I mix it up from 4 all the way till 6 p.m. And then Lorena slides in at 7. She mixes con el DJ Gucci at 8 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, she's got this thing called La Hora de los Tóxicos. Y'all don't miss that one. She goes all the way till midnight. And then little Adam West, he comes in at midnight all the way till 5 in the morning. So y'all check it out, man. Enjoy the Mojos, our new platform, Valley's Most Wanted. It's something y'all got to check out.
There you go. Well, and I would like to send a shout out to you, Frankie G. Of course, thank you very much for coming out and joining us, and to
Gracias.
everybody at the Mojo Morning Show as well.
Gracias.
And
Gracias.
like always, also a big old shout out to my co-host there, Miss Scarlett Rose, beautiful as ever, 21 years old. All right, now she's legal, guys. All right. Also, a big old shout out to my daughters, Drenna D, Darling Dre, and my beautiful and wonderful, handsome grandson, Carson Thien. How you guys doing? Much love to everybody and to all the listeners on the RGV Rocks. We thank you all for listening, tuning in, and watching. Of course, the amazing Frankie G from the Mojo Morning Show. And we thank you very much for joining us. Miss Scarlett Rose, you want to send out a shout out?
Yes, I would like to send out a shout out to everyone listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. But if you guys want to catch us or learn more about what we want to do on our show, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook, Instagram, RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. We also have a Patreon. So if you guys have a very special shout out that you want to give, it's only $5 for our Patreon. And not only are you giving us the $5, but those $5 also goes to the station. So regardless, you are sponsoring not only us, but as well as the other shows on the studio. So if you guys want to have a very special shout out, we usually give out very special shout outs here on our station. Well, also on our show at the end of the show. So be sure to follow us on all platforms and as well as Patreon. But for starters, a very special shout out to Frankie G. Thank you so much for joining us here on our station.
Gracias.
Yes. For anyone wanting to know when our next show is, it's going to be next week. So be prepared for our 100th episode coming up very, very soon. We'll see you guys next time on KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. See ya.
Yeah.
Peace.